Hi yogis, and welcome from my home to yours. For our practice today, we'll begin lying on our backs. So making your way down onto your mat. Your feet might come to the outer edges of your mat and the arms alongside the body, palms facing up for a little more openness through the chest, or option to have the palms resting on top of the belly for a little more grounding. So checking in here with what you need today from your practice. And as we begin to settle in here, making any adjustments, any movement so that we can settle into this space. Maybe already becoming aware of any sensations coming up through the body, any areas of tension, and any areas of ease. Moving in a way that supports your body as it is here in this space. And beginning to come into your breath, observing whether you're breathing in through the nose or the mouth. Maybe observing the quality of your breath. And can we begin to invite some length to the breath? On your inhale, breathing in through the nose or the mouth, and feeling the chest, the ribs, and the belly begin to expand. And on your exhale, as the navel draws in towards the spine, ribs begin to knit together, and maybe a softer, subtle breath on top of the lip or chin. And continuing this breath cycle in your body. And just observing all the parts of your body that expand with your inhale. And all the parts of the body that contract with your exhale. I invite you for our practice today to move with your breath at your own natural rhythm and pace, meeting your body where it is today, moving in a way that supports yourself here. And we'll begin to explore some small movements, maybe wiggling fingers and toes, circling out wrists and ankles. An option to nod the head from side to side. And then on an inhale, draw one knee in towards the chest and then the other. The palms can catch for behind the thighs or on tops of the shins. Maybe just starting to circle out through the knees, drawing them away from the body over towards the side of your mat. Just observing how this is feeling through the body. And then circling in the opposite direction, just observing if this changes any sensation. Maybe it does and maybe it doesn't, and that's okay. And the knees will come in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers over top of your left shin. On the inhale, extend your right heel up towards the sky. On your exhale, the right heel will come all the way down to the mat, rooting through the back of the heel, back of the knee. And on the inhale, expand your belly towards the left thigh. On the exhale, maybe the left knee draws in just a little bit closer. And observing any sensations coming up through the hips. And then option, if it feels comfortable, maybe drawing the left knee over towards the left side of your mat, opening up through the hip. And then inhale to come back through to center, plant the left sole of the foot down onto the mat. And inhale to draw the right knee in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers over top of your right shin. And then exhale, we'll extend our left heel all the way up towards the sky and then down towards our mat, creating that same rotation. Rooting through the back of the heel, back of the knee. Inhale, belly expands towards your right thigh. And then exhale, maybe the right knee draws in just a little bit closer. Observing if this side feels a little different than the other, and maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, and that's okay. Option if it feels comfortable, and then inhale, our right knee will draw over towards the right side of our mat, opening up through the hip. And then inhale, the right knee will come back through to center. Hug the left knee in to meet the right, and palms will come behind the thighs. We'll begin to rock along the spine if it feels comfortable in the body today. If not, rocking over to your side. And we'll meet up at the top of our mat in a cross-legged seat. So taking our time to arrive here. We'll root through the sit bones, stacking our pelvis with our ribs and softening the shoulders away from the ears. Taking an inhale and an exhale. Next inhale, arms will reach out and up towards the sky. And on the exhale, palms face down towards the mat, tracing the front line of the body. 3 more rounds like this at your own rhythm and pace. Inhaling out and up. And exhaling down. Last one. And this time the palms will come to rest on top of the thighs or the knees. On your inhale, begin to open up through the chest, draw the shoulder blades together and maybe rounding through the back. The neck can tilt up towards the ceiling if this is comfortable in the body. And on the exhale, begin to round through the spine towards the back of the room, and palms can come to the tops of the knees. Chin can tuck in. And then inhale to open through the chest. And exhaling back. Inhale to open. And exhaling back. This time on an inhale, finding a neutral spine. And then exhale here. Inhale, arms will reach out and up. And on the exhale, our right palm will plant beside the right hip, reaching up through the left fingertips. And on your exhale, bending over towards the right side. Feeling this stretch through the left side of the body, keeping the left knee rooted down. And then inhale to come back up through to center. And exhaling your left palm over towards the left, reaching up through the right fingertips, and then exhale over towards our left. Breathing in through the right side of the ribs. Next inhale, both arms reach up. And on the exhale, spread the fingers wide, plant the palms in front of the body. We're going to stack our wrists with the shoulders and then lifting our hips up. Our knees are going to stack underneath our hips. So we're coming into our first tabletop position and really taking our time to settle in here. So maybe if the knees are feeling sensitive, keeping the toes tucked underneath. If the palms and the wrists are feeling sensitive, you can stack the palms into fists. Just finding a way to meet ourselves here. Maybe beginning to find a little bit of a rock forward and back, just being mindful of the wrists. And then drawing the hips over towards one side of the mat, we're going to create circles with the length of our body. So all the way through our hips, our shoulders, and a little bit through our wrists. And maybe these circles are really small today, maybe they're really big and exaggerated. Meeting your body where it is. And if you're circling in one direction, circling into the opposite, just observing if this changes any sensations. And maybe it does and maybe it doesn't, and that's okay. Coming back through to neutral, so knees stacked underneath the hips, wrists stacked underneath the shoulders. And then we'll tuck the toes underneath, and on an exhale, hover the knees an inch or two away from the mat. Beginning to charge up a little bit through our core space here. Checking in with how our wrists are feeling, rooting through the index finger and the thumb. Elbows begin to draw in towards one another. And then on an exhale, our sit bones are going to reach up as our thighs press back. So we're finding our first downward facing dog of our practice. And taking as much movement here as it feels comfortable. So maybe bending through the knees. Coming up onto the tippy tops of the toes. Maybe nodding the head from side to side. Next inhale, our left leg will reach up and back. On the exhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest, rounding through the spine, and then plant the palm between the foot between the palms. Lower our right knee down. And on the inhale, arms will sweep up towards the ceiling. Taking a moment here to root down. So feeling our left foot rooted down, maybe the tops of the right toes stay tucked for our knee, or we can untuck the toes, rooting through the top of the right foot. Our thighs draw in towards one another. Maybe the palms come to rest on top of the hips, just being mindful of how the shoulders or the arms are feeling. Checking in with our breath, take another inhale. And on the exhale, open the arms up towards the left side. Finding a little bit of a twist here. Observing our balance. Take another inhale. And exhale. Inhale, arms will reach back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, the palms will plant down onto the mat. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. We'll step our right foot all the way up to meet the left. On your inhale, palms will come to shins or thighs, opening through the chest, finding a neutral spine. And on the exhale, soft bend of the knees as we fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins or thighs, opening through the chest. Exhale to fold. One more just like that, inhaling, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, we'll begin to rise up, but keep a soft bend through the knees. The arms will remain heavy. Head stays heavy as we roll up through the spine. And then the shoulders will draw up towards the ears and then down. The back head will rise up, rooting through the feet. Take an inhale. And an exhale. Maybe find a soft rock back and forth. A little bit from side to side, checking in with our balance today. And coming back to center. On an exhale, begin to bend through the knees, curve the body forward. Arms will begin to dangle as we fold all the way down. Bend enough through the knees so that the palms can plant down onto the mat. An option here to walk, step, or hop to the back of your mat, taking an inhale through plank. And on the exhale, our sit bones will reach up, thighs press back, downward facing dog, and taking our time to settle in here. Feet are about hip distance apart. Arms are shoulder distance apart, running through the index fingers and the thumbs. Elbows draw in towards one another. And then next inhale, the right leg will reach up and back. Exhale to draw the right knee in towards the chest, rounding through the spine, plant the foot between the palms and then lower the left knee down. You can walk the right foot forward, stacking the ankle and the knee, and inhale as we rise up. Checking in with this side. If we're finding we're really wobbly, you can walk the right foot over towards the right side of the mat. Checking in with our arms, maybe we keep them onto the hips, taking an inhale. And exhale to open up over towards the right. Observing if this side feels a little different in the body, and that's okay. And then inhale, arms to reach back up towards the sky. And then exhale to plant the palms down onto the mat. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, and we'll step the left foot all the way up to meet the right. Inhale for our halfway lift, palms to shins or thighs, neutral spine. And then exhale to fold. 2 more rounds at your own pace, inhaling. And exhale. And this time on the inhale, keeping that soft bend of the knees as we begin to rise up. Arms stay heavy, head to rise up last. And the arms come beside the body, palms facing forward. Finding that soft rock, rooting through the feet. Checking in with our balance. And coming back to neutral on our exhale as we bend through the knees, begin to fold forward. Arms come heavy, head comes heavy. And then the palms will plant down to the mat. Option here to walk, step, or hop to the back of your mat. Inhaling through plank. And on the exhale, sit bones reach up, thighs press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Exhale to draw the left knee in towards the chest, plant the foot between the palms and lower the right knee down. Inhale, arms will reach all the way up. And this time on the exhale, palms plant down to the mat. Begin to walk the left hip back. Left knee will begin to straighten as the left toes point up towards the sky. So as our palms walk back towards our body, we begin to sit back. Maybe feeling a stretch through the back line of the left leg. Option here to point the left toes towards the top of your mat, feeling a stretch through the top line of the leg. Taking an inhale and an exhale. Inhale to plant the left foot back down onto the mat, bend through the knees, walk the palms forward and then open a little bit through the chest. On the exhale, leaning back, sitting our left hip back, left toes point up. And then finding a little bit of movement here. On your inhale, left foot plants down. Inhale to open. Exhaling back. And this time maybe we round a little bit through the spine. Maybe the palms walk a little bit forward, checking in with the sensations happening through the body. And then we'll plant the left sole of the foot down onto the mat, bending through the knee, stacking the ankle with the knee. We'll come up onto the right tippy top toes, lifting the right knee up and away from the mat. And then we're going to pivot onto the outer edge of our right foot. And on the inhale, our right arm will reach up and then towards the back of our mat as the left arm draws towards the front of our mat. So we're coming into our warrior two. And checking in here. Maybe we walk the right foot farther back. Maybe we walk it in. Checking in with how our hips are feeling today. Checking in with our breath. Next inhale, our left palm will reverse up towards the ceiling. And then the exhale, reach it up and overhead as our right palm comes to rest along the right thigh. Option here to take the right forearm and rest it along the low back. And continuing to bend through our left knee, breathing in through the left side of the ribs. Inhale to come back through to center so arms come parallel with our mat. And on the exhale, take the bend out of the left knee. Begin to reach the right hip towards the back of your mat as you begin to reach the left arm towards the top. Take an inhale for length. And on the exhale, our left inside of the palm will plant to the inside of the left shin as the right arm begins to draw up towards the sky. If this is a lot of sensation through the chest, you can keep the right palm onto the right hip. Maybe the left palm comes to rest on top of the shin or even draws up towards the thigh. Just meeting our body where it is today. Breathing through the right side of the ribs. Keeping the gaze down towards the mat for more balance or gazing up towards the right palm. Give ourselves a little bit of a challenge. Taking what we need and leaving behind what doesn't serve us. We'll take another inhale. Begin to bend through the left knee. Arms come parallel with the mat. And then the exhale, windmill the arms, frame your left foot, and then pivot onto the tippy top toes of the right foot. Step the left foot all the way back to meet the right. Take an inhale here. And on the exhale, sit bones reach up, thighs press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up and back. On the exhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest, round through the spine, right foot plants down, left knee to the mat. Inhale, arms sweep up. And then exhale, palms come back down to the mat. We begin to bend or reach our right hip back. Take the bend out of the right knee as the right toes point up towards the sky. Observing any sensations coming up through the side. And then we begin to find our movement. Inhale, right foot plants down, opening through the chest. And exhaling back. And just observing if this side feels a little different. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, and that's okay. Maybe we point the right toes up towards the top of our mat, feeling a stretch through the top line of the right foot. And then planting the sole of the foot down, bending through the knee, opening through the chest. Exhaling back. And this time, inhale to plant the right sole of the foot down. We begin to walk the palms forward, coming up onto the tippy-top toes of our left foot, lifting the left knee. And then we're pivoting our foot to become parallel to the back of our mat. Inhale to reach the left arm up and overhead as our right arm draws towards the front of the room. Checking in with this side, rooting through the back edge of our left foot, bending through the right knee, maybe walking the feet closer in towards one another, and checking in with our hips. Take an inhale, reverse the right palm up towards the sky. And on the exhale, reach the arm up and overhead. Left palm can come to the left thigh. Maybe the left forearm comes to the low back. Breathing through the right side of the ribs. And you can take the gaze down towards the mat or up towards the palm of the hand. Observing our breath here. And then inhale, both arms will come back through to center. On the exhale, take the bend out of the right knee. Begin to reach the right palm forward. And then we're going to tilt so that the inside of the right palm can rest either to the inside of the right shin, maybe to the right thigh as the left arm draws up. Always option here to have the left palm on top of the hip. And just checking in here. Maybe keeping the gaze down towards the mat or up towards the palm of the hand. Taking another inhale and exhale. Inhale, bend through the right knee, arms come parallel to the mat. And then exhale, windmill the arms, frame the right foot, come up onto the tippy top toes of the left foot, and then step the right foot back. Inhaling through plank here. And on the exhale, the knees will come down to the mat. Tops of the feet will plant down, big toe mounds to touch. And the knees will come as wide as it feels comfortable in the body. And then our sit bones will come back towards our heels. Maybe the forehead comes down to the mat. To create more space, you can also stack the palms into a fist on top of one another and bringing the forehead to rest down so that we can create a bend through the elbows and maybe some space to breathe. Continuing to lengthen through the spine. And the arms can reach forward, maybe the forehead comes down. And you can even rock the head very gently from side to side. Slowing down the breath here. And feeling this wave through the spine as you inhale, feeling the breath fill into the low back. And the exhale as it waves down the spine all the way to the shoulders, the back of the neck, and base of the skull. Taking this time to slow down, check in. How is the body feeling? What sensations are coming up here? Next inhale, beginning to walk the palms in towards the body, head to rise up last. And then the knees will come together. We'll shift onto one side of the hips, extending the legs out in front of the body. And coming about midway up your mat. And then we'll slowly begin to lower down, taking our time to arrive here. And then we'll walk the soles of the feet in towards the sit bones, and then heel toe the feet as wide as your mat. The palms can come to rest on top of the belly, and we'll very gently knock the knees from side to side. And moving as slowly or as quickly as it feels comfortable here. Observing all the sensations coming up through the inner and the outer thighs. And then we'll heel toe the feet all together. And the soles of the feet will connect with one another as the knees draw out towards the sides. And just allowing the body to work with gravity here. Maybe the knees are really far away from the earth, and that's okay. You can draw the heels closer or farther away from the body depending on how this feels through the inner and outer thighs. Checking in with the knees and the ankles, And coming back to our breath, tracing our inhale and our exhale. As we begin to soften and settle in here. We can end our practice here if this shape feels comfortable in the body. If not, using the palms of the hands to draw the knees in towards one another. And then extend the heels to the outer edges of your mat. And the toes can fall out towards the sides. Arms can come alongside the body, palms facing up. We're having both of the palms rest on top of the belly. Observing any sensations through the body. And observing all the parts of the body that connect down to your mat. Maybe down towards the ground. And can you feel this softening sensation? Maybe as though the body were melting back down towards the floor. An option to stay here as long as you would like. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today.